Hey everybody. All right, says it's good. Okay. Welcome to the this Sunday's prayer service in Enochian. Um, how's everyone doing? We've got see, we got a big holiday coming up this week, at least in America. So um, we'll see how what our turnout is this week. It'll be even weirder next week, I'm sure. Um, as far as I know, I don't think it's going to affect anything here. I should still be here. We're not traveling anywhere this year. So yeah, I should be here next week. Now that I think about it, um, I don't know. My brain's a little fried right now. The 76 names of Metatron attunement is like really strong, and just creating it and sending it as as people order it. It's been a lot, so I'm falling a little behind on that, but it's everything's coming. But yeah, that's just it's kind of it just I have to take a break and like recover from like and it definitely kind of it hits hard. I'm not quite used to it yet. It'll in a couple of weeks I'll get more used to it, but that's why like some of these you'll look at, well, why does this have this price tag on it? Why is it this hard? I mean, why is it this expensive? And the reason why is because of the effect it has on me. It's priced based on kind of the effect the negative impact it's going to have on me for sending that many of them. So yeah, that's kind of where that comes from. That and of course the um, Kabbalistic ones that I split the money with Jonty on those. So anyway, yeah, so that's been going on. It's just like it's really this whole week has just been a blur. It just flew by too. It's like didn't we just do this? So, but here we are, and so I guess for the prayer requests, we'll start taking those here in a second. Wait till I put it in, or wait till I say prayer requests, and then we can get those in. No, right now I am not. I'm not going to play with it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, if you order this, then I'll send that. Right now, I'm not going to do any of the healing attunements through Etsy. They have made it quite clear that they don't want me doing that, and that um, somebody is reporting me. So somebody who might be watching this, and I say, yeah, I'll do that, and then they report to Etsy, and they could just take the whole shop down. So no, we're not gonna play with it. We're gonna try to obey the rules that they set, just like I ask people to obey the rules here, and at some point in the future, I will have a different platform set up, and we can work through that. Just, I mean, it's only been down for a couple of weeks, or not even a couple of weeks, really, and they've been there for forever, and they'll be back up soon. And in one form or another, I'm not sure. I still haven't decided. Like we keep going back and forth. Like, do we want to just open a Shopify? Do we want to just do it? Do we want to do our own store? I want to whatever I do, I want to do it right, and I don't like to rush into anything, and I don't want to just have my hand forced because Etsy, took a few listings down. Like the healing stuff has never been a big part of what I do anyway. I've always kind of shied away from it because people sometimes have unrealistic expectations from it, and I don't want to give someone false hope. You know, most of these things they work by preventing something from happening, not for healing things that are already in happened. Like by that point, it's usually too late for an energy to take care of the problem. It can help. It can help get rid of maybe the spiritual problem, but it still has to process the, you know, once it started physically, it's still got to have to play out to a degree. And yeah, I don't like giving people that false hope. And we just have to be realistic in the world we live in. It opens me up to lawsuits and all kinds of stuff. Just saying it's for educational purposes only or something like that, and you should see a medical professional doesn't guarantee that you're going to be safe from a lawsuit. So um, I've always been very, I've always, like, not, I haven't really wanted to put very many of them in. And you notice that most of them were Kabbalistic and, you know, kind of came through that route as opposed to ones I created and put out myself. So yeah, because like again, because yeah, healing is just it's a fraught topic. Let's put it that way. And I don't like to mislead or to anyone, giving people false hope, or and then and also open myself up to that kind of attack because you can see how easy it is. Like someone just has to go to Etsy and report, he's got healing stuff, and you see how Etsy reacts. So that's how easy that is to get you in trouble. So um, yeah, if, I'm, on the other hand, I'm also one of the top 1% earners on Etsy, so they're not in a rush to kill my store. They make a lot of money from me too. So, um, but anyway, let's talk about the prayer requests. Um, so when I say don't put them in until I say, but when I say prayer request, then you're going to send a message. It's going to say prayer request at the beginning, and I'll only take it for so long. Once I say stop, I won't take any more after that. But be sure to put prayer request at the beginning so I recognize it because I'm not going to read anything. I'm just copying and pasting. And then be sure to keep it simple. Only do like only make a request one time. Don't keep putting it in over and over again. I don't know why people do that. And again, yeah, try to make it easy for me to read. Don't add anything unnecessary like thanks, Jareth, or anything like that. Um, just write your request as simply as possible. Um, one thing to remember, and this is not just for this request, this is just a magical principle in general. When you're thinking about your request, don't worry about the how. Don't focus on how you want it to manifest. Just think about what you want to manifest. Um, Also, remember we're already doing prayers for health, wealth, prosperity, um, love, things like that. So all the generic stuff is covered. So there's only put in a request if it's you want to put in a request for something that's very specific that you need, not just I need more money. You know, we all do. That's why that prayer's already been made. Um, Doubling up isn't going to help you anymore. And so yeah, let's go ahead and put our prayer request in. Remember, red prayer request is the first two words, so I can easily spot them and copy them. Okay, another minute or so, and I'll call it. So get them in now. There are a couple of things that I realize that aren't getting covered very hard in the prayer service, and I'm kind of thinking about shifting the whole thing around a little bit more. Um, we aren't getting a lot of people interested. It's probably because it's too long. So I might try to abbreviate it a little, make it less a service and more just some prayers that we're doing in the pathworking. Maybe, I don't know. We'll talk about it after. Maybe I'll see what you guys want to do. All right. Looks like we have some trouble with the chat. Can someone type something to see if it still works? Okay, there it goes. Looks like we just had a little blip there. All right. So let's go ahead and call that for the prayer requests. Thanks everybody for participating and for following the rules. So let's start getting ready. Couldn't find the ring. There we go. Okay. Let's take a few deep breaths and center ourselves. Listen, all you who can hear me. The Father is mysterious and everlasting and transcendent. The Mother is here and is all things, all that we can see and don't see. We are the holy children, and together we are who create reality and have the privilege to experience and explore creation. Let us join together now as one in prayer and create a new world. We pray. In the name of the Father, the Mother, and the holy children. Let our hearts become a holy temple and our minds a holy throne. Enter God all-powerful and dwell in the temple of our spirit. Let our thoughts be as immaculate light and our gratitude become an unconquerable power. Ge lava, ge adua yin ya iada, a oxentasser a ne nerome. Ge monons, no one nis ya yan, ge mana ne axia yal, zimi ya iada. Ad feans a sia ian, a gega, ge engelad no one opiert, a ge kren, no one uge mikals. I will not call on the Mother for the divine authority to call on all of the angels of Sunday. Galva, show yourself and sink into me. Bring down the flaming temple of your seething loins upon my mighty sword. Be thou my drunken harlot. I inhabit your throne in heaven in the joy of God. Thunder understanding underneath me. Groan the secrets of holy mysteries in my mouth and bring forth the philosopher's stone and become my handmaid. Galva Zamran Karboth Yol. Drixa Yalpor Sia Ian. De ge urep dax mire ol mikalze napta. Bob or orspa. Babylon ol zodorega. Ge axia yal imadirax ola mozad. Avavago mikath oraka ol. Hodo a laiad. Deni kikles yo butman. Yoka madar an no one o kirst. She who is the end, Mother of all, pray for us. Open the eye of our hearts so that we can see the secret truth of the heavens, so that we can see the face of the Most High, so that we become the most powerful. I pray that all confusion of our own power be destroyed. Open our eyes to the truth, that the spirit of man magnifies the Spirit of God and is the Holy Spirit. We are the Creator. We create creation. I am the Lord your God. I am what I am. Galva exentasser lava lapge. Odo a uanoan. Age monans arge arget. Uran, Latyad Veowan, Dea Madriax, Ge Arget, Aduyan, De Iada, Ge Arget Noan Iadan, O Lava Lo Tol, Unke, De Gi Mikal Ziram, Kirsab, Odo Ge Uanan, Tua Veowan, Ga, De Corzis, Ovav, Ge Di Yad, Zir Kum Gumfi, Ge Zirdo, Ka'a, De Ka'as Ka'an, Ziriniad, Gahuakma. A prayer to banish all curses and wicked spirits. United as one in prayer, we now ask for freedom from the oppression of all curses and harmful spirits. Take a moment and feel how much you hate being oppressed by a cursed or harmful spirit. And as I perform the banishing, transform that feeling into gratitude, as though you were already free. I, Jareth Tempest, by my own name and by my own authority, banish all curses and evil spirits from all who hear my voice and desire liberation. Ol Arpan Atol, Babylon, God told you Sorpath. In the name of Yia Iran, the all-powerful, and Zilladarp, who stretches forth and conquers, I banish all curses and evil spirits from all who hear my voice and desire liberation. Ol Arpan Tolama Atol Babylon, God told you Sorpath. In the name of Galva, Lady of the Apocalypse and Mother of all angels and abominations, I banish all curses and evil spirits from all who hear my voice and desire liberation. Old Arpan Tolama, Og Tol Babylon, God told Isopeth. I place all who are willing under my wing and my protection. I call upon the mercy of the kings of the four watchtowers, Bata Eva, king of the watchtower Exarp, Ra-Agios, king of the watchtower Hakoma, Igza Heka, king of the watchtower Nanta, and Edlaparna, king of the watchtower Bitom, to open their gates and send forth their legions, to set up a hedge of protection around everyone who is listening to my voice and who desires to be protected. Build an impenetrable fortress around us and keep us safe. Blans par de Solpath, Yokom Givi Patriarchs de Blansge. Now feel your gratitude for being delivered of your oppression, and take a moment to know that you are safe and protected. Filled with divine authority and now free from the influence of all harmful spirits, I will recite the first key to unlock the heavens so that we may summon the angels of the day to do our will. O Samvors Goho Yadbalt Lenkash Kaos Zomfo Sobra Zoovro A-T Naspad Gra-A-Ta Mopieg Dishol Ga-Ka-A Nathoa Zims Ad Kamoa Ta Nobla Zion Soba Thilgnat Perge Alde Ad Verbs Obela Kasarm Orhoela Kaba Pure Ad Zonreg Kap Iadna Pila of Harms Zoza Adna Diskono Iadpil Dis Home Ad To Soba Ipamet Steed Loholo Veb Zamad Poamol Ad Bagpa Aai Ta Pia Piamo Iad Veoan Zakare Ka Ad Zamran Oro Kiklik Ka Zorge Labzira no Kamad Heoth Ia Iada. An invocation for all the angels of Sunday. In the name of Yah Iran and Yahbis, on this day of the sun, I, Jareth Tempest, conjure you, all the angels of Sunday, Lord Sol, the illuminator, king of all the stars and begetter of vision, O Lord Sol, whose angels nurture and cause the herbs and the trees to bear fruit, who adorns the whole world with majesty, who banishes adversities in the darkness, Lord Sol, the embellishment of priceless things, the beauty and the majesty of pearls, gold, and all precious stones, the glory of kings and the thought of judges, I, Jareth Tempest, conjure you, all angels of this day, servants of Lord Sol, who is inconceivable, incomprehensible, who sees the powers of heavens and understands the splendors of Ya'ira. I conjure you, all the angels of this Sunday, luminous spirits of Lord Sol, the candle that burns before the dark and dreadful Zilladarp. I am Jareth Tempest, and you will not disobey me, for I know who I am. I am the child of wisdom and the lover of Galva the mother, the end of all things. I am Gahawakma, I am what I am. I am Yido Ego, he that sits on the holy throne. I am Ya Iran, the all-powerful. I conjure you by the mysterious and powerful name of the outer circumference, Horwin. By the seventh who governs the seven, head Hiai. By the archangel of the sphere, Raphael. By the archangel of creation, Michael. By the unspeakable name of God, Oizir. By the daughter of light, Yana. By the son of light, Damal. By the daughter of the daughter, Izad. By the son of the sun, Liba. By the archangel of the sun, Semeliel. By the rulers of the heptarchy, King Kumar and Prince Baganol, I conjure you, King Bobogel, magnificent king of the sun. Prince Bornogo, ruler of the hours of Venus. Governor Bonethon, ruler of the hours of Mars. Governor Banafa, ruler of the hours of Jupiter. Governor Barigas, ruler of the hours of Mercury. Governor Buskanab, ruler of the hours of Saturn. And Governor Bablibo, ruler of the hours of Luna. And your above names and powers I conjure you, and all of your angelic ministers. Grant your grace, power, virtue, wisdom, in all that we now ask. I, Jareth Tempest, do summon you all now and charge you to obey and to serve me, my wife, my loved ones, all my friends, students, and clients, and all who hear these words, everyone who calls on you in my name, and carry us all through a life in a state of playful wonder and well-being. Let love, wealth, abundance, prosperity, success, belonging, victory, freedom, and everlasting joy flow forever into our lives. Be with us and bring success in all the works we attempt this day, this week, and all the days of our lives. Turn back all foul fortune from us. Bring us only good fortune. Guide us where we need to be. Teach us what we need to know, and show us what we need to see. I seal this command with the word of power, Agla. A prayer to end all suffering. We cry aloud for all who weep. Those whose bodies are in torment, they are healed. Those whose thoughts are confounded, their minds find peace. Those whose lives are lamentation, they are comforted. The lonely find love, and the face find beauty. Where there is war, we demand peace. Where there are empty mouths, we demand a rich harvest. Where people are poor, we demand gold. Where there is wrath and torment, we demand deliverance and justice for the wicked. Where the wicked reign, we demand righteousness. We do not humbly pray for this, we demand it, not in time, but this day. We are the holy children, we are God, and we are the mother, and we speak with the speech of God. We open our mouths and create a heaven out of torment. We invoke all the holy servants of God from all the heavens to create a kingdom of love, a kingdom of peace, a kingdom of joy. We demand the kingdom of heaven this day, so that all weeping is only a memory by this night. Gibahal no one told dis vaklir. Soba kinidiman no one gimir. Par no one kakam. Soba angular no one unke. Par manan. No one in Tharze. Par soba apila. No one yofan. Par no one blioria. Asaga momans. Raklir no one bliorga. Ada togo no one turbs. Kuian da trian somf. Naspad. Gefifis in Tharze. Kuian da trian afa butmana. Gefifis las azigyar. Kuian plasi no one raklir. Afa limla gefifis adkal. Kuian da trian zonfo. Ad mir gefifis. Zon rezig. Ad balt no one a Babylon. Kuian Babylon bagpa. Gefifis balto. Ge ip zura lava nuan oi. Gefifis ip capimeo oi buskim. Ge ad a nenoromi. Nen no one yad. We no one exentasa ad ge kamriax a laugeth. Ge odo butman ad kaas madriax get amir. Ge argedko told. Agena kaad de yad told. Madriax de kaas lando de bliorga. Lando de enthaze. Lando de maz. Gefifis a lando. De madriax oi bust gim. Ad raklir patnor oi virk. A prayer for the dead. We now remember those who have come before us, and we pray for their souls, that they find their way to the place of peace and healing in the next world. Feel your desire for your ancestors to help the lost or unhealthy dead, or anyone who has recently died. Then as we pray, turn it into gratitude as though you've already received 1,000 blessings from your ancestors. We look back on our ancestral bloodlines, and call to those ancient ones who shine with wisdom and love. We honor you, we praise you, and we pray that you work in healing the dead in torment. We also pray that you look for all in our bloodline and light their walk to your home. Shelter the dead in peace and heal their hearts. We praise you, O wise saints. We thank you. We think of you and we sing your praises. We also humbly pray and shine your wisdom and light on all of our works. Gedorfa de Teloa Kinila, Ar Arget de Soiga Teloa, Dis Loholo Miketh Ad Bliorga, Ge Yada Adrix Nonke, Ge Oikrimi Nonke, Ad Lava Nonke Veul, Ge Kakam Aga Gemir, Ge Lava Nonke Dorfa, To Ge Gi Teloa Kinila, O Pirit O Yinsi de Salman, Blanza Teloa Ge Intarzi Ad Page, Ad Kakam Oi Monons, Ge Oikrimi Nonke, Ke Soiga Teloa, Ge Engelar Nonke Oldek O Krimi, Ge Zura Lava Nonke, Loholu Miketh, Od, O Pirit Ge Tol, Ge Concibra. A prayer for reconciliation with the world. We pray for the soul of the world and for all of her daughters and sons. We repent of destroying her children and despoiling her treasure and making her diminish. Open our eyes so that we can see our spirit community. Open us to hear their weeping. Open our hearts so that we can flourish together. We pray to hear their wisdom and to act on it. Ge lava a ge ka'a a to til pasabs a nor. Ge mua ge prezar til noromi ad yasid. Til limla ad ol. Til prezar oro ge ua oana. De uran kafafam. Eav zorge ga oro. De solpeth oi reclier oro ge monans. Oi ge tol kakam. Ge lava solpath oi miketh ad sorti. A prayer for health and healing. In the name of he that lives in supreme life, I invoke she who is the end. We sing praise to your glory. I pray to you for the health of all who listen to my voice and all of their loved ones. Let your face be friendly and shine healing on us. Repent our death. Hearken our groans and lamentations. I call on all the holy servants of the sun to deliver us from torment. Let us flourish everlasting. Ga'a dua ian de yadpil ad yabis, ol argedko galva, ge okrimi de gi bustir, o lava de gi lap a kinilaman, kokon ge tol disolpath, diobia ad moman fafen, bob oduoyan, zorge ad loholo ge muad ge teluk, tuatar ge ugege, ad iofan, olar get atolne, no ka ad, de alroizon rezig, gemir trian kakam go head. A prayer for prosperity and pleasure. By the name of the highest, in the name of the all-powerful, I invoke the mother of all. We praise your mighty beauty and power. I call on all of the holy servants of the sun, that I and all who listen and pray are lifted upon the pillar of gladness, and crown us a garland of gold, girdle us in treasure, and pour down glory and triumph upon us. Grant us a harvest of pleasure and joy. Ga'a dua yan ya yada, ad ya yadan ol argedko exentasser, galve, ge oi krimi nonke kans, turbs ad lench, ol argeda tol ne noka ad de, aror na ol, ad tol de solpeth de lava, ziram farms mirka nazarth, de momar, ge oblak, de odkal, tra'a ge limlal, ad pampir bustir ad, Homtol Mirge, Deluga Ge Azi Gyar, De Kirisahi Ad Mod. A prayer for love and belonging. I invoke she who is the end, mother of the world. I pray for all of you who can hear my voice that you be loved and has someone to love. In her powerful name, I call on the holy servants of the sun to cast out your loneliness and bind it for time everlasting. I pray that the true love of your life manifests. I pray that no scorpion separates you. I pray that the two become one. I pray all of you find belonging among loving people. Ol argetko galva extentasser o lava lapto ge disopath. Dio bia trion bliorga. Ab brion molap de bliorga. Ge tela mikalzo duayin. Ol arget atol ne nuka ad. Dio roar de arpan ge sagan momons. Donse. Alar lap kabimeo go head. Ol ad lava ge veo on bliorga ka ad. O lava ad siatris tlap nonke a pre polo polo. Lava lap to noan kafafam eof zorgig olag. A prayer for justice. Highest God, creator of all things, he that lives is the just one. Bring forth justice to the government and cast down the harlots from their thrones. Lift up the servant. Give everything to the righteous. Cast down the powerful to hellfire and crown a kingdom of justice. Yada, meophas opirt, ka'al autoflo. Yabis yapil ioiad oiad. Yokam ba de nata'ab arpanan Babylon paraxia yal. Farms anoko. Deluga taflo diabalit. Arpana mikals de donas dogas mastasos. Momar lundo diabalit. And now for your requests. For R, for clarity, for strengthened throat chakra, ageless vitality, willpower, good job, removal of financial and spiritual blocks, and increase in magical skill, and effective execution in all things. Yod Fifis Gigil. For R, that C sells his house quickly, easily, and with a profit he desires or better. Yod Fifis Gigil. For AS, for MS to find peace in his heart and have clear understanding of what he wants to do. Yod Fifis Gigil. For JT, for P to comply with the terms of the contract to buy and sell, to have more clients. Yod Fifis Gigil. For JD, to awaken and empower their mind, imagination, and wisdom to the highest level. Yod Fifis Gigil. For WB, that pray for healing pain in the groin. Yod Fifis Gigil. For AW, that back pain must come right away, and that AF reaches out to them. Yod Fifis Gigil. For QR, that in January 2025, their husband and them moved to a bigger apartment with 2 bathrooms for $2,800 to $3,000 a month in rent. Yod Fifis Gigil. For GJC, that their intention power increases tenfold. Yod Fifis Gigil. For AW, to have a vacation in their dream destination in the next 6 months, to get a job with a person that their friend recommended. Yod Fifis Gigil. For AJ, for them to be healed of all ailments, start a successful business, and to remove all obstacles in their love life. Yod Fifis Gigil. For SKTV, for quick success and income for their church, increased spiritual knowledge and communication. For fast career success for their wife, rapid blessings to their family, financially and spiritually. Yod Fifis Gigil. For TTN, for help them to get closer to the divine through deep understanding and process the concept of love and compassion. Yod Fifis Gigil. For ACB, that the projects they hatch come out smoothly and successfully. Yod Fifis Gigil. For TKMU, that they are victorious and easily win their court case against AS. Yod Fifis Gigil. JJFN, for strengthen their trust and confidence in themselves. Yod Fifis Gigil. For ZK, that their little brother gets out of jail easily and is treated well while in there. Yod Fifis Gigil. For IN, that their daughter comes out of the imaginary world of hers and understands her responsibilities and behaves good. Yod Fifis Gigil. For PFMP, for more awareness of their store, for increased subscribers to their channel, more consistent large sales on their website and Etsy shop. Yod Fifis Gigil. For JR, for a new, well remunerated and fulfilling job, Yod Fifiskagil. For SAM, for awareness of the church, increased subscribers for their channel and more traffic. For consistent monetary donations and membership for their ministry, Yod Fifiskagil. For L1, to be more secure, knowledgeable, and adept in their work and business, so they can be more efficient, effective, and profitable in all of their work activities, Yod Fifiskagil. For N, to improve the health of DH and MS and get good results of travel, Yod Fifiskagil. For TZ, for T's energy and mental focus to be high, and for her to have a smooth week at work with no errors or faults, Yod Fifiskagil. For TV, to stop caring about what people think about them and become comfortable being upfront and assertive, Yod Fifiskagil. For ABSI, that any and all legal confusion relating to their family's properties be cleared, Yod Fifiskagil. For EB, for them to find a well-paying job. And for all of the unspoken desires that we hold in our hearts, feel the desire for what you want, and now state it out loud or in your mind, and then transform your desire into gratitude as though you've already received it. Lord, answer our prayers, Yod Fifiskagil. We sing praises to your name. Ge oikrimi, de gi duayin. And now for the pathworking. Path 23, the third path of love. The path of love, to strengthen love. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking out your door. Imagine you begin to walk west. It is raining. You come to a creek. You follow the creek, and as you follow the creek, it widens and grows until it empties into a lake. You find a boat, and you take the boat out into the still water of the lake. Eventually, the lake empties into a river. You follow the river down, and as you go, more rivers join, and the waters swell and flow. Finally, the river meets the sea. The great ocean spreads itself before you into infinity. The waves crash against a single solitary tower that rises from the waters into the sky. This is the angelic Watchtower of Water. It is tall and made of blue stone. Hold the image of the blue Watchtower of Water as I say. May we enter and safely pass through this blue Watchtower of Water. May we successfully traverse the third path of love, the path of love. May we attain success in this initiation, so that we may strengthen love. We approach closer to the watchtower and see the Lotus Gate, its doors closed. Before the doors is the angelic guardian, Engem. He is a dark, masculine angel without wings. He wears a... No, I'm sorry. We'll start this over. We approach closer to the watchtower and see the Lotus Gate, its doors closed. Before the door is the angelic guardian, Ravoy. He is a dark, masculine angel without wings. He wears a red-orange robe. He holds a topaz that increases strength. Try and hold this image in your mind as I say, O Ravoy, I call to thee. Come and open for me the Lotus Gate of the Watchtower of Water which you guard. I ask to gain entry by the threefold secret holy name, Meth Arsal Ga'ik. I open the gate with the key of water. O Phil Lasti Badge, A Dorfa Gaholo Gekis, Gay, Au Orgo, Corm Pod, Donsev Vive de Ve Kasarim, Aeoli, Mop, M, Soba Ar Cormvo, Ka Rep E, Kasam, Go O Ze Kis Ad, Vireg Dis Ka Ip, Mali Kis Ka Pi Ma An, Lonchi Kis Ta Lo Ka Torga no Kurasahi, Ad Fe Keasaga, Bagde Zi Ren Nai, Ad Disi Ad, Apila Doa Ib Ka'al Al Zakar Ad Zamran, Abelasong Resk El Aaf, Nor Molap. Revoy walks up to you. A light shines about him. The light shines into you, penetrating you completely as he embraces you. He says, I am the angel of water. I am the angel Revoy. I am the guardian of the Lotus Gate. Enter the Watchtower of Water. The Lotus Gate opens. As you approach the gate, there is writing above it. The sun, through the circles and body mass, is the heart of the body. The intelligence of the inward man. We walk through the gate into the Watchtower of Water. The floor and walls are made of blue stone. You feel the power of the waters moving through the stones. Joy, fear, love, anger, calm, and hate move through the stones like waves, ever changing with the tides. You feel the flow of all the feelings. Something inside you wants to open and surrender to them, to open up and to receive all the rushing currents of the heart. I will repeat the threefold secret name for protection. Meth Arsal Gayik. Meth Arsal Gayik. Meth Arsal Gayik. We now come before the stairway leading up. Before it stands another angel. They are a delicate, beautiful, feminine, cherubic angel without wings. She wears a yellow robe. She holds a lily whose fragrance bestows awareness of divinity. You can feel powerful energy coming from her, penetrating you and filling you. She says, I am the cherubic angel of water. I am the cherubic Tedem. I am the guardian of the Chalcedony stairway. They embrace you, and again you feel their light shine through you. They say, throughout eternity I manifest myself from earth to water within earth. Read the words written above the stairway and rise up through the Watchtower of Water. Begin to climb the steps of the stairway as you read the words. Behold, no man is penitent, but he useth prayer. No man satisfieth, but he useth prayer. No man taketh part in the church, but in prayer, for prayer is the key. At the top of the stairs you enter the floor of the water within water, and you see a blue stone fountain. There is cool and damp like a cave. You see a second staircase. The words written above the stairway say, the spirit that speaks to you is she that has built a tower. A strong tower and a mighty tower, yea, such a one has not yet been from the beginning. Great is the foundation thereof, for it is of iron, but greater are her walls, for they are of diamond. Most great are her turrets, for they are the 7 heads that behold, judge, and gather, and they are made unto truth, the spirit of eternity. Under the laying of every stone are you made privy, and for this tower you are provided. We now climb the second stairway. At the top of the stairs is another angel. They are hermaphroditic and wear a deep violet robe. You feel love emanating from them, and they can cause love to enter the heart of any who come before them. Unafraid approach. They embrace you. They say, I am Nelapir. I am they who have their way. I am the angel of the cross of water. I bear the cross of water from water to air within water. The floor of air within earth has a cool, wet breeze. You see a third stairway. Above this one is written, behold, the work is great. The labor is also equal unto it. Climb the third stairway. It is cool and dry and smells of myrrh. You now step out into the tier of fire within water. You see 2 majestic nude angels, the king of the Watchtower of Water, Ra'agios, and the goddess of the Watchtower of Water, Gearois. If you identify as male, stand before the king. If you identify as female, stand before the goddess. Listen to their descriptions and try to visualize them both. Creative power flows out of them. Their nature is to make things. You sense that they like to place living things into bodies. Their presence fills you with a sense of life-giving creativity, to express infinite spiritual ideas through finite form. You feel they can bestow the gifts of healing and longevity. King Ra'agios wears a blue crown on his head and holds a golden cup in his left hand. The goddess Gereth wears a violet tiara on her head covered in blue hair. She holds a blue chalice that is inscribed with the magical word Tram in yellow in her right hand, and a mirror in her left hand. Now embrace the king or goddess. Feel yourself melt into them and transform into them. Again, if you are King Raagios, you are a beautiful man with a blue crown and a gold cup in your left hand. And if you are the goddess Gearois, you are beautiful with blue hair, a violet tiara, and you hold a blue chalice that is inscribed with the magic word Tram in yellow in your right hand, and a mirror in your left. Now continue to imagine that you are the king or goddess, and turn towards your consort who now faces you in the nude. Imagine you say, "Let the daughters of light take up their garments. Let them open the windows of their secret chambers. Show yourselves to be gods. Yea, perform that which you have already promised. Gather your vestures together, for those who are sick have need of you. You are the children of pity, and in the loins of compassion do you dwell. Come, gather up your garments, for the cankers are ripe, and the biting worm seeks to gnaw into the lily. Now smile at each other as though you are in love. Slowly move towards each other and embrace. As I say the word Hakoma, merge God King and Goddess of the Waters together, as you also try to hold the image of the bluestone watchtower around you. Hakoma, Hakoma, Hakoma. Continue to hold the image as I read. The words of the Spirit quicken. The doing of the flesh lead unto distraction. May I have understanding and cast away pride. By true understanding may I learn, first to know myself, what I am, of whom I am, and to what end I am. This understanding causes no self-love, but a spiritual self-love. This understanding teaches no blasphemy. This understanding teaches no fury. May it teach me to be angry but not wrathful. For I may be angry and not offend, but wrath is to damnation. Is God a God of justice? May I therefore a just servant. No man inherits the kingdom of eternity without the conqueror in this world. No man can challenge justly a reward without he be a conqueror, who do the works of justice. Does the world not like me? It is for two causes, either for that I live well and not like a worldling, or else because my wickedness is such that the world wonders at it. If I am the first, I will rejoice, for blessed are those whom the world hates. When they laugh at my godliness, I will be sorry and grieve at their sinfulness. My garland is of godliness, my breastplate is humility, and upon my back I wear patience. A light begins to build within you. It builds and builds, as do the feelings of power flowing through you. Suddenly, the light grows so bright that you are blinded. A moment passes, and you are yourself again, standing in a boat outside the angelic Watchtower of Water. Let us now turn towards the land and sail back to ourselves. A prayer for union with the divine. While we thank you, Karanzam, for the blessing and wonders of ourselves, may we see the truth. We pray for divine knowledge. Fill us with wisdom. Open our minds, hearts, and eyes so that we can understand that we are not poor wretches, but are the holy children of the Holy Mother. Help us to understand that we are one with the Mother as she is one with the Father, that as they are one, so are we all one. Ge oakrimi karanzam lapa obela atiliop. Arget ge uran veowan ge lava lap yadna deluga ananael. Odo ge monan monans. Uo anoan. Ar ge ge ipam apakama. Krip noan ne cordiz. Dea ni exentaser deluga ama. Ge noan saga a exentaser ka pi noan. A yad nomig. Palo saga noan saga. The closing prayer. We praise all of you, holy servants of God. We praise you, Mother of the world. We praise you, God Most High. Let us, holy children, go forth in love and power to speak the speech of God into creation and create a kingdom of heaven. Ge oakrimi to ne nakaad, dea yada, ge O creamy nonke accentasa. Go creamy yada. Trion geni neuromi two stocks gib liorga. Odd vohian. De comliax al lego logath. Gegdi ka'a. Odd kaas londo de magidax. In the name of the Father, the Mother, and the Holy Children. Gea dua ian yada accentasa aner neuromi. Paid. Okay. So, has anyone had any results or anything that they would like to share, or if they got anything from that? Any just any good news or anything at all? I think we all need as much good news and stuff to give us encouragement and hope as we can get right now. So, and while I kind of wait for any answers to come in, I do want to kind of mention I'm going to take advantage of the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales and stuff, and I'm going to get some more equipment and kind of set this up a little different. We'll have hopefully like better audio and a better camera and lighting and stuff, and maybe a teleprompter so I can actually look at this, like look into the camera as I talk. Um, Things like that. Just try to make this experience a little bit more, uh, a little bit better. Right now, it's just kind of just something. I really didn't plan this that much. It was just kind of like, hey, let's do this thing, and I've got a I got a webcam and just ran with it. Um, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. No one is saying anything. So is the chat still working? Yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything you want to go ahead and ask. Oh, here we come. Okay, so yeah, I guess people just didn't have anything to say. Um, but yeah, whatever. I'm open up to you guys if you have any questions or whatever. Oh, that's good. Someone's saying that their prayer requests are continuing to be answered. So yeah, I mean, it's again, this is sort of how I do most of my own magic now. I mean, I still do some other things here and there, depending on what's going on and what I'm trying to test out, especially. Okay, yeah. So in my Patreon, I put some mantras up a few days ago. So someone is saying that they're starting to use them and they're going to post their results as they get them. How did I learn to do this prayer? I I have there's books that have the language in it, and I just write go through the books and I write the prayers based on the words that we have access to. Um, so yeah, it's not so much anything that you need to learn. It's just you just use it, and that's how I mean that's kind of my attitude with almost anything. Um, Magically, I mean you learn a little bit, but yeah, it's you learn by doing. I mean, I learn by doing more than I learn any other way. Like through, um, I can watch somebody, or so if you try to tell me how to do something, I'm not going to learn that way. I can watch you do it, and I'll learn a little bit better that way. But really, if I'm doing, I learn by doing things. So that's how I learn to do things. So I just start doing them. So well, that's awesome. You guys are the people that are getting results. That's great. It sounds like it's coming in more consistently for some of you now, and So yeah, that's awesome that it's regular regularly beneficial to someone. Um, and yeah, I want to. I don't want to take anything away, but at the same time, I don't want to bog it down. And I realize we do need. I need something that covers more like protection and protection from adversity, and it's more about like maybe good luck, good fortune. So I want to add something like that. But at the same time, I don't want to keep adding things, and I might rework a few things and shorten some stuff. It's always going to be a kind of it's a work in progress, but all of the main beats will still be there. I'm just trying to be more efficient with it, and while some of it kind of comes through as like more of a channeled message, some of it is very much just me sitting down with the book and going through, seeing what words work. Well, I mean, that's awesome. You got the result. I'm sorry it wasn't exactly what you needed, but yeah, it's interesting. I noticed we've got in the prayer request, we've got like several churches that put in requests for more membership and stuff. That's interesting. Um, but yeah, protection and I mean, there's always so much. It's gotten a lot better. Don't get me wrong, but there's always been this within the occult groups and stuff online. There's just people that easily like just start attacking people for no reason, or the vampires that are out there that'll just start feeding on people and stuff, and um, it's so frustrating, and it's so annoying that we have to put up with that. So yeah, we need as much protection as we can get from that, from everything that's going on in the world, like as divided as everything is in this country. Like I don't, I can only speak from my own experience here and and where I live, and I don't. But it seems like this kind of thing is happening in a lot of places around the world, and not just in America. Um, to better connect with servitors on Patreon, should we be in a meditative state? I mean, for all magic, if you can get into um, at least in like just put it scientifically in like an alpha brainwave state, which is just a first step down, sort of the daydreamy um, level. That helps. Like the more altered your state of consciousness, the better any magic or psychic thing is going to be. So yes, that is something you should try to do. You don't have to. Like if you're just trying to give an order, then no, it's not necessary. But if you want to try to have the better communication, and yeah, that's sort of like one of the step one to any kind of magical or um, psychic step. But so yeah, I mean, yeah. Someone saying in Ireland, it's the same people who just can't leave others alone. Um, yeah, I mean that kind of thing is everywhere. It's like, and it comes from all sides. I'm not trying to say that all sides are equally bad, but it does. It can come from all directions. You mentioned that you were going to be ordained and got into Christianity at the time you were in prison. Would you care to share a bit more on that? Um, so I don't know what parts you want to like. Yeah, I mean, I got more into. I was raised, Christian. We were Methodist, but we weren't real serious. We went to church maybe twice a year around Easter and Christmas. but still nominally Christian. There was, people would talk about Jesus and stuff, but I didn't have a real, like, it wasn't like we were really grounded in that. My dad was an atheist, and he kind of saw the worst in people all the time and just kind of assumed that we were all awful. But my mom believed, and but at the same time, I was also vaguely. I mean, we were on my mom's side, we're Native American, Cherokee specifically. Although my grandmother was adopted by an Osage woman who had been through the boarding schools, and in the boarding schools they beat her so she wouldn't. She decided after she got out of the boarding school that she would not raise her family to be native. She would raise them white, and so we lost that connection. But my grandmother still knew a bit and would try to work that into teaching me. So I had a vague sense already of kind of this mixed spirituality of Christian and native beliefs. And but growing up where I was, the Baptists were the big um, ruling kind of force, and I didn't really like that very much. And but then when I was inside, I got my first taste of Catholicism, which really rang much truer. I was incredibly lucky. We had like really amazing volunteers who were highly intelligent people. Like one of the guys that was there, we don't know for sure, but he apparently worked in some sort of, for some intelligence community that also worked with the church. And so I don't know if he was like the CIA liaison to the Catholic Church or what, but he did a lot of he knew a lot of high level people in the church, and he knew the church inside and out, all of its good and bad, and and was very free with his information and stuff, and his knowledge on the church ran really deep, but not just like the bureaucracy, but I mean the teachings of the church and the saints and the fathers and mothers of the church. And he definitely had a mystical bend to him, and so I picked up on that and kind of grasped that mystical side of the church. And then so I'm working through all this. We also have a deacon that's kind of from the charismatic line of the church, which is sort of Pentecostal but still Catholic. And he's the one that taught us how to get in touch with our holy guardian angels. And so following his instructions, I did that. And then we, as through working with that, my holy guardian angel, I was led to believe that I was supposed to be a priest. And I asked for a sign, which I'd already had this other sign that wasn't that big a deal, but a friend of mine made a big deal about it, which was I saw these birds at a certain time and place. And so birds kind of got in my head as like, oh, if I want a sign, I ask for a bird. But I was living inside the dorms at that point, so I didn't have windows or anything. So I said, yeah, if you want me to be a priest, because I didn't want to be a priest. So if you want me to be a priest, send me a bird. Well, then like a couple of days later, there was a bird that got in and it landed like on the partition of my dorm. And like my neighbor swung a towel at it and it flew away and it flew all around and came back and it landed right back on that same spot again. And so I was like, fine, you sent me a bird, I get it. And so I started working on it, but then like it became very quick, like was made known to me that the Catholic Church was in no way ever going to let me become a priest. By the time I got out, I would be too old, and the fact that I was a felon, that wasn't going to fly. So, but the Franciscans came and they started a program. So I joined. It took 3 years of study, and it was not like light study. It was a lot of study and a lot of testing and a lot of work. But I joined the secular Franciscans, the Third Order Franciscans, and so I was a Franciscan at the time. Technically, I guess I still am because I've never officially I don't participate. I haven't gone or done any or paid my dues or done any of that stuff. So I'm not really, but technically I was ordained, or not really ordained. It's not like I was a priest. I was just a secular member. So so that's the kind of the closest. Like I guess that's what you mentioned, ordained into Christianity. That's kind of what happened there. How does the Godhead appear to me? As me? Like I don't. I it's. I mean, I guess it depends on where you're at and to what degree you're looking. But it's not like I see. It mostly it's a light, but it's also it's 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 within, and it's so it looks like me. It just the inner because yeah, when you like when your ego shifts, you aren't you anymore. You realize that you are that like eternal consciousness, and that's what that is. And at that point, it's you. So it looks like you, but not you. If that makes any sense at all. What is the recommended basic protection ritual? The basic protection ritual that I would do every day is first I open up all my chakras, and then um, I pull energy up from the earth through my feet, filling up my whole body up to my head, and then I pull energy down um, from the sun, or if I'm doing it at night, the moon and the stars, and I pull and down, have that fill me up from my feet up to my head until it mingles together, and then it all explodes out from the top of my head, and it does like a torus shape, and it comes around, and it comes back up and comes around, creating a bubble around me that, and then once that forms, I take a moment to recognize that this is protecting me from everything, that I'm safe. And then if you want to add a little extra, um, put some make the light kind of psychedelic or staticky, and know that that is keeping you from all psychics from being able to see you, at least see you clearly. And that's the most basic protection that I do twice a day. What do you think the connection to the Franciscans brought to your life? Well, the Franciscan theology and spirituality is very much it's one of, you don't go off into the mountaintop to meditate. You get involved with the people, and you you don't necessarily need to preach at people. You preach through your actions, and your works should be all the preaching that you ever need to do. People should see what you're doing and what you've accomplished, and want that, and want to come to you and say, well, how do you get that? And then you can tell them, well, and that's that. The other thing is that the Franciscan spirituality is very tied to nature, and recognizing that everything in the world is alive and is a child of God, and that we're all supposed to be working together in harmony with each other. Um, and it's a path of service, as opposed to trying to lead others or anything like that. You serve each other, and so yeah, it has a lot to do with nature, and has a lot to do with humility, as well as living simply. Like Francis talked a lot about poverty, and and it's very much just kind of a, yeah, living like, trying to live in harmony, and live a simple, harmonious life with nature and with other people. And it's not one of trying to preach at people or beat people over the head with it or anything. And they should see the light shining from you and want what you have. That's the lesson, that even if you remove it from like Catholicism, that part still should be there, you know? Can I explain custom servitors, how they have one purpose, but can have multiple powers based on that purpose? So if you, yeah, just an example, like if you want a servitor that helps you with money, then it can have powers that help you to save money. It can help you find money. It can help manifest money. It can help you discover secret sources of money. Those are all separate powers that all have to do with the purpose of giving you more money. How does one find their purpose in life? The purpose, it should be so clear. Um, what is it that you desire? What is your one, not desire? What is your most? What are you passionate about? What gets you going? Like, man, what fills you up and makes you want to? What do you want to do? What do you? I mean, not like not. Here's the question: like, if you took money out of the situation, what do you want to do? Like, fuck capitalism. Just put that aside. Don't worry about what you want to do to support yourself, your family. What do you want to do? What makes you happy? What fills your cup? What makes you get up in the morning? Like, what would get you up in the morning out of excitement, not like out of obligation? That's your purpose. You know, you find that, and that's what you want. And it's not necessarily one thing throughout your whole life. It can change, and um, that can happen. And because the thing is, like, no, we don't necessarily have a purpose. Not everyone has one. Um, Sometimes your purpose is just to be here, and and you can pick your own. You can just like make up your own meaning. So yeah, not everyone has one, and but if you have something that fills you with like, man, I wish I could do this all day, and that's probably your purpose. And unfortunately, we live in a world that doesn't give a fuck about what you want for your purpose. You got to put, you got to go to work anyway, and so you have to work out how to make that work for you. Um, the other thing is that if your spirituality reaches a certain level, at a certain point, you're probably going to get an angel or somebody showing up saying, "Okay, you need to do this now." They're going to give you a job, and when that happens, it's not going to be like you'll know. It'll be very clear. But they'll find a way to put you to work. But that again, that'll be very clear if that ever happens. Yeah, like the French, like all of the different orders, like see, people have a deep misunderstanding of what the Catholic Church is. The Catholic Church is not the clergy. That's just the clergy and the hierarchy, and no one likes them. Um, like the Pope is not the church. The people are the church. And Catholicism, you might think of as the religion. Christianity, that's the religion. And it's this broad, it means a lot of different things. And then the different orders all represent a different type of spirituality within that broader religion. So, like the Franciscan spirituality is one, the Carmelite spirituality is another. It's pretty appealing, but they do have a little bit more. Oh, let's go sit up in the monastery and meditate all day and have mystical experiences all day. And it's like, that's cool. I definitely dig that. But at the same time, I feel like you need to get down there in the dirt with the people. You can't just sit up in your thing. But then, like the Dominicans, they want to study, and they study. They're very intellectual, and they study. And the Jesuits teach, and so that, yeah, that's and some you can feel are closer and further away from what is for you. And so as you get involved, if you get involved in the church, then it's best actually if you try to find one of those things and kind of read the writings of the saints and stuff who come from that path, and then that helps you can find that little part of the church there that you like. Um, but yeah, Franciscan theology is actually really interesting because it is it was never declared. It's very different from mainline theology, especially what you hear people talk about. But it was never declared a heresy and was deemed a um, just an alternative way of looking at things, because Franciscan theology does not see Christ's death on the cross as a necessary sacrifice to forgive sins. The Franciscan theology is that God could always forgive sins, and Jesus died on the cross because we chose to nail him to the cross. It wasn't set in stone. It's what we did, but he did it anyway out of love, as sort of a massive wake up call. Like, look what you like. God came to earth and you nailed him to a tree. Maybe you should think about things. um, because if you make Jesus all about reparation for sin, then that makes Jesus a reaction to sin, whereas Jesus was the first thought of God. Jesus was pure gift, and that was it. And so he comes before sin. He was conceived of before sin was conceived of, and so um, it takes away that evil God who needs a blood sacrifice to atone for sin. It wasn't about atoning in that sense. It was about waking us up to this reality that of who we are. And of course, I don't really believe necessarily in sin and what we need to atone for at this point, but you can still kind of see, that it's already a very different it's a very different form of Christianity than what most people are exposed to. Can I custom a Carl Jung attunement? I don't think I mean, I'm not super comfortable doing people because they are humans, and their energy may or may not be what you expect it to be. So I don't know if Carl Jung is well out there, and tapping into an unwell spirit is not a good idea. And so I usually only go with like really highly ascended people. And like I don't do a lot of people. I try to mainly stick with like, you know, spirits. How do I see Lucifer? I see Lucifer. I don't know. Okay, this may be a tough one. I see him as he's in a white suit. Um, if you've ever seen the comic book The Dark Knight Returns, the Joker at the end is in a white suit, and there's a particular pose where he's standing. Anyway, he's got like big, broad shoulders, and it kind of goes down like. That's kind of how I first started seeing Lucifer, and so that's kind of how it continues. He's not. I'm not saying he's the Joker. He doesn't look like that, but just has that suit, that kind of broad shoulders, in a white suit. And like a lot of times I don't see, like, I'm not a super clairvoyant, so I don't always see these things, especially when I'm working with them. It takes a little effort for me to see. Um, it's a little easier just to kind of get a feel. I mean, a lot of these, especially, I mean, I feel energy much more than I see things, and I tend to work things on an energetic level more than anything else. And just I can feel the energy shift. I can tell there's a new energy there, and what that I can kind of just read the energy. And okay, yeah, that's them. Plus, I almost always work with Raziel or someone else is going to help verify if someone is the right thing. Um, any other questions or thoughts or anything? I mean, so the question is, please explain Lucifer's book, and would it be safe to have that placed in you? I mean, I wouldn't offer it if it wasn't safe. I don't know why you would ask if it was safe. I wouldn't. I mean, do I come across as someone who would give you something that would hurt you? I don't. I don't. I don't get why you'd ask that. Yes, it's safe, and the way it works is it's a hypnosis track. So it works with your unconscious, and it basically puts a hypnotic suggestion that anything you write in this book is going to um, become real. So it's aligning your subconscious to um, that belief. And then there's the pathworking where Lucifer gives you the book, puts it in you, and so then yeah, you can write in the book, and whatever you write in the book will happen. It's a manifestation book. It's best for the stuff within you, but you can use it for outer stuff as well. And um, because that's really how a lot. I mean, yeah, it's yeah. Raziel is awesome. I'm starting to kind of yeah. Anyway, yeah, Raziel is awesome. I mean, yeah, it's if you're scared of Lucifer, then don't get the book. Because I keep saying, it's like I say all the time. It's like you only if you bring fear into it, that they're gonna look scary. If you bring that kind of if you need to do whatever you need to do to get around that, and I suggest working with them. And as you work with them, then they'll become less scary. So, but yeah, don't dive off the deep end and get a Lucifer attunement or get the book or whatever. Just do the path working and just try it out, or don't start with Lucifer. You can start with someone else, but like I don't. I mean, or just don't. You don't have to work. No one's saying you have to work with demons or with Lucifer. There's so many different spirits out there that are available. Um, you shouldn't feel pressured to work with anything you don't want to. I obviously lean towards the angels, but I work with everyone. But but there are a lot of people who don't even want to work. For whatever reason, they don't want to work with angels, and I get it. It's fine. You know, just do whatever feels right for you. And almost every power that any spirit has, you can find another spirit that can do the same thing. It's like I think Lucifer's big thing is the time manipulation stuff, but Metatron can also manipulate time. So, you okay? My dog's behind me, kind of getting weird. Um, I should probably get going here in a little bit. Does anybody else have any other questions before I do? Can you use? I mean, I'm sure you could. I've never used the N. That I don't know if I missed that or what, but I just I never used ends, so I can't say for sure how that works. But I'm sure. Well, I'm sure it does. Like, here's the thing: almost everything works because the way it works is like if you believe it works, it's going to work. Um, it's not people like occultists and have made this like all seem like it's supposed to be really hard, but it's not. None of it's hard. It doesn't have to be hard. All of these things are here and they want to work with you. They're here. You just got to call on them. And so much of the ritual is really convincing you that you have the power to do it. And once you realize that, then you don't need the full ritual. You don't need to do all these crazy things. And yeah, just chanting an in is really all you need. And you could, and honestly, you don't even need their specific in. You could just like chant their name and say, Lucifer, come to me, and just chant that, and that would work. I mean, and I'm not trying to like slam anyone here or anyone's practices. I'm just trying to say that it'll all work. And it really is much more about you and what you believe and what you bring to it. And if you have a real technical mind and and you believe that it needs to be this big, like complicated thing, then that's fine. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. But not everyone needs that. And you need to find the path that works for you. And kind of like what I was talking about with like all the different little spiritualities within Catholicism, within esotericism, there's all these different ways to work. Some of them are really hard and complicated, and some of them are real super easy. And it's just which one feels right for you. You just got to find that road for you. Someone's saying they don't know what Lucifer's book is. How do you do it if you want to? It's something I sell on my Etsy. So I put the link should be in my description for the Etsy store. Search for Lucifer's book. So someone's up here saying that they thought angels were imaginary until they found Gallar Magic in me, and it's like, yeah, it's like everyone comes to this stuff from a different place, and we all know different things, but really, it's all as easy as a prayer, and that's why prayer works. Like, I get all these people constantly, like when I send attunements, they want to send me their pictures and their dates of birth and just everything about them. I'm like, I don't need all that. And just like as long as I am vaguely aware that you exist, then it'll work. It's just like if I can pray for you, I can send you an attunement or I can do magic for you. I don't need your exact. The only time I ever need your date of birth is for the Holy Guardian Angel name and initiation, because I'm going to use your natal chart. And it's all built off the natal chart. So because of that, I need your natal chart to be as accurate as I can. Everything else is just a vague sense of that you exist and it'll work. And just like whenever you pray for somebody, you only need to know, like you can see a guy in a subway station and be like, oh, I need to pray for that guy later, and you can just be like that guy I saw in the subway station, and you don't have any doubt that whoever you're praying to knows who you're talking about. And it's the same with all of magic. There's nothing different there. How many HGAs does a person have? They have one. Although you have almost a limitless amount of guides and guardians and whatnot, but you only have one true HGA, which is not just a guardian. It's actually your tutelary spirit or your genius. It has different words in different cultures, but it's a spirit that's created just for you, that's with you. Although it can be spun off from a much bigger spirit, like you could technically have Metatron as your Holy Guardian Angel, but it's not the Metatron. It's a version of Metatron that's just for you. But it's but you only have the one, and you're part of your what you're doing here is you're getting closer to your spirit, because the holy guardian angel is basically, it's almost like the piece of God that's just for you, and you want to merge with that and um, become one with that. Yes, you can listen to this without it being live, and it's just as effective. Um, it's just, with, again, it's what you put into it, not so much what I'm putting in. So yeah, just listen to it and participate with it and interact with it as much as you would if you were live, and you'll get to the same effect. Um, I hear my dog going nuts outside. The other dog is outside going nuts, so I should probably get going. So I'm going to go ahead and do the final blessing. He that is the first sustain us, and she that is the end beautify us. Angels of the Lord, guard us from all torment, comfort us in all discord, and light our way to supreme life. God of righteousness, pour down love, pleasure, healing, glory, gold, peace, and the secret joy of God. Mother wisdom, pour down divine knowledge upon us. He that sits on the holy throne, crown and enthrone us in power. Move us to be mighty and rejoice in our power of creation. In the name of the Father, the Mother, and the holy children. Elgahage, Galvar Urbsge, Nek Nakaad, Deat Yad, Bronze Getol, Mir, Bjorkski, Etolos, Ol Opirit, Ge Insidiabus, Beovit, Panpir, Bjorga, Kirasahi, Kiniliman, Kakam, Bustir, Adkal, Intharzi, Ada, Yada, Mozad, Ananael, Panpir, Yanamad, Mirkge, Ido Momir, Ad Velorcaspax, Gamma Mikals, Zakam Ge di Omikals, Ad Kirlan, Ge Mikalzo, De Kaas, Diat Duaian, Yada, Oxentasa, and Enoromi, Paid. All right. Thanks, everyone, and I will see you all next week. Bye bye.